forgot how do we start these things. It's been a while since we've done these podcasts. I'm out of the.
Well, McLean usually starts it, but he's not here.
I know.
So
I started one of them, and that was horrible.
Claim. When did Chandler change his name?
I don't know when Chandler changed his name. I can't remember.
I remember you guys pulled me to a podcast. And he's like, "My name's McLean." I'm like, "What?"
What?
I'm just sitting here confused, and I'm just like, "McLean."
Yeah, the thing is, I call him Chandler in the same podcast as well. I thought, what? What?
I'm like, I don't know. People are always so scared, like, "Oh, we don't want to share our names." I'm just like, I don't really care if people know my name.
Well, I say my name all the time.
Yeah. Like, hello, Matthew. That's my name. Don't wear it out.
Hey there, guys. We're back from hiatus. This is Nerdolution episode 4. I'm Benji, your executive video editor, and with me we have Alana. What is your current position on the website now?
I am a team leader, I think. Yeah, I'm a team leader. Team Charlie.
Team Charlie. Woo! And with us we have, I guess you could say he's more of a regular for these podcasts now, is Matt, who used to work with us.
Yeah, I'm not really. There's no position to have, but I give opinions.
It's a good position to have, and you do create some amazing stuff for these podcasts at times. Some scarily big arguments between you two.
Alright, wait. This is only the 4th podcast?
This is only the 4th podcast.
Wow.
We've had 2 specials, as in the Digicast.
Yeah.
But then
we're doing pretty bad.
We're doing pretty bad, yeah. Well, we did do 3. Yeah, we are doing pretty bad.
We have 1 million viewers with these, so
yeah. Well, hopefully one day people will listen to this, and when you people who have been listening to us from the beginning.
Whoa! What do you mean, you people?
You people.
Are you racist, Benji?
I am, yes. That's the way to put it. I'm the referee of this, okay? Don't bring me into this. Oh God.
And thus the downward spiral already begun.
And thus it begins. I've already got enough racist comments on another video on YouTube. On the Star Wars one, that's really bad.
Oh God.
What we're going to start with. What games have we been playing this weekend? What other films or whatever have we been doing, to be honest?
Yes.
Where should we begin? Matt? What's up with you, Matt?
I'll start.
What's up with you?
I started to try to get back into anime, so I watched Fate Zero.
Ooh.
The first episode of it, and it's pretty good. It's a lot better than the other Fate Stay Night, because Fate Stay Night was just like really, really annoying. It had a lot of like really weird stuff. But I don't know, trying to get back into that. So I watched the movie Trance. Have you ever seen it?
I haven't, no.
Nah, it's pretty bizarre. It's a psychological thriller that if you're in for just something that's just gonna like blow your mind, then I would recommend watching it. But it's pretty good time killer, that movie.
Time killer. That's good to know.
And then as for games, I've been playing Cube World a lot.
Yeah, I like Cube World.
Cube World.
Ruins Cube World. Okay, I'm done. I guess I'm gonna go stop playing Cube World now.
Cube World is the greatest. No, it's not. Never mind. It's not the greatest game ever.
Cube World though, it's good for like a game. It's really, really good for a game made by 2 people still in alpha.
Yes, alpha games.
Surprisingly good. Like alpha Minecraft had half the stuff this game has in alpha.
I thought the game was going to be horribly broken when I bought it, and I've been very impressed.
Well, okay, but Rangers are incredibly broken, or were until the last patch. To be fair,
sure.
Rangers could take the crossbow and your mouse 2 action, which is your special attack, they could spam that, and then not even have to charge up their MP at all.
And now they're fixed. They fixed that issue.
Yeah, they fixed that, but it was ridiculous. It was like why you saw so many people playing Rangers, because you could solo bosses that you really shouldn't have been able to, because you like couldn't fail. you know, because it was just so easy.
Yeah.
Always good.
But I mean, like things like that. Games that aren't enough are kind of imbalanced. So just a small imbalance. Okay, a big imbalance doesn't like break.
It was pretty big. It was a pretty big imbalance. I
was expecting the game, like I'd walk into it and all of a sudden the game would just like freeze and like it would die, and that hasn't happened yet. So very impressed.
Ooh, yeah. Very nice.
That's just for me.
That's just for you. Okay, Alana.
Well, I watched the first season of Hell on Wheels where the preacher goes like psycho, and that was pretty weird. But besides that, just been playing Cube World with a Crazy Taxi still.
Everyone's been playing Cube World basically this week. Great.
Because Cube World is really cool. I mean, you can get pets. Okay, I almost had a pet monkey, and then I lost my banana split in my inventory, don't know how, and I'm really mad.
How do you, dude? I have at least 20 pets. They're just, I found a jungle like just yesterday and got a monkey because I was just bored. It's just, I have to say the one thing that I think that he might want to change in the future is like changing like the food drops, because like so many like there's so many different foods for like the animals and they all like drop.
Yeah, yeah, but I mean the monkey have a higher food drop because the monkey's cool. I've gotten like 2 of almost every single food. Well, not every single food. 2 of all.
Oh, we've cut out.
Uh-oh.
That's not good. We've lost her.
That is definitely not good.
All I heard was Google.
Yep, that's all I heard too.
We might cut this bit out, I'd say. Or we leave it in.
Oh, did I get cut out?
You got cut out from Google.
Oh. Here, I'm gonna stick like my phone outside the crawl space, but the rest of me will stay in the crawl space.
Okay.
Yes, we don't know what this crawl space is.
You guys have never seen a crawl space.
No. Matt, have
okay.
You?
I don't think I have a crawl space in my house.
Well, a crawl space is like
a space you crawl into?
In our closet, yeah, exactly. In our closet, we have this little door that if you open it up, there's like this room that has like insulation. It's just like a storage room. So I'm just sitting in it.
What a lovely place to go to.
It's actually kind of nice. It's like no one disturbs you.
Until someone wants to get something out the storage cupboard.
We never go into the crawl space except for if I need to go in to get something for the hermit crab tank. But other than that, it's completely closed most of the time.
Okay then, right. That's gone completely off topic there. Oh. And this is what you expect out of the Nerdolution podcast. Off topic.
Well, you know, it's better than podcasts that are other podcasts. I'm looking at you, Rooster Teeth.
Yeah.
There we go. That's the call out.
Speaking of.
That's what
Ruby.
gets us viewers.
Speaking of,
Calling
Ruby was amazing. Watching those episodes of Ruby. You watching that?
Wait, what? Ruby?
Yeah.
Wait, W?
RWBY.
Oh, yeah, that was weird.
They call it Ruby.
Yeah, it made me sad.
What did make you sad?
I don't know. It looked like an 8-year-old did the animation.
Wow. Wow.
I have high standards. Okay.
I've noticed everything we've mentioned here. Everything that you've ever mentioned on these things. Your standards are so up there.
It is really high. Like, you can't just do that kind of quality of animation and be like, we're Rooster Teeth, you know? Like, Rooster Teeth is like one of the biggest names on YouTube. Like, come on, come on.
I've never even heard of Rooster Teeth. I'm behind on the times.
You are very behind on the times.
You are at least 10 years behind on the times.
That's because you're young still. I'm the old man here, out of you two.
How old are you?
Older than both of you.
Dude, I'm 25.
You're really not 25.
Shh. That's what the viewers are gonna think.
Okay, he's actually older than that, but he's not. He's lying. Okay.
Okay.
I'm actually 23. And then there was silence.
You are old. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Old man.
Yeah.
Very old.
That's why I'm the person presenting the beginning part. The old person gets to do this. It feels good. But anyway, to what I've been watching, I've been watching Taken 2 for some reason. Taken 2.
Did you like it?
It wasn't as good as the first one.
Well, that's usually sequels.
It's
I'm
usually
not sure.
sequels, yeah. But
I've never
there was-
seen the first
he's,
Taken.
he's doing a lot more hand-to-hand combat in this one, and there's a bit more. I guess it's more story-driven in some way.
I don't know. I think the beauty of the first one wasn't like he was just like a one-man killing machine. It's
Yeah.
just like he outthought the other
Everyone.
people. Like he knew how to infiltrate this group, and he used torture. Like he didn't just like go in guns blazing. He wasn't Rambo. He
just
was
went in-
pretty
He was
sneaky.
calculating. He was calculating. He was a CIA agent, former CIA agent, and just took out everyone.
Yeah, but we didn't have to like. He never really. I mean, he had some good scenes, but every time he ever like fought somebody, it was always because he had the element of surprise, not just because he was like some sort of grand wuju master that just slowed down time.
Well,
something
in
like
this
he just-
one, Taken 2, it seems like he is, in fact, a Wuju master.
I don't know.
That's the best way to put it.
I think that's a non-accurate depiction of what secret agents are really like. I don't think secret agents can just block bullets with their hands.
So, all I can think now is Jackie Chan and Jet Li and all those people.
Oh,
These
yeah.
secret agents. But yeah, what else
Actually,
have I been watching? I'm actually planning to watch Pacific Rim Sunday.
I kind of want to see the movie, but I'm afraid because it's so hyped that I'll just go and then I'll be very disappointed
Yeah.
because it was the same thing that with Avatar when it came out. Everyone was hyping it, but they always hyped it because of like the special effects. And I feel like if you hype a movie because of special effects, it's usually because it doesn't really have much else to really. It's really
Avatar was quite good.
insubstantial.
Avatar was still quite good.
I don't argue, but it was not.
Oh my god. It's your standards again. It's getting in the way.
I have high standards. I got bored during Avatar.
Because
What-
it
it
was
was-
a boring movie. It was just Pocahontas in space.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't really like doing that because that's kind of like a cop out answer. Just to say it's Pocahontas in space. That's
But
why.
it was, but that's not a
That's-
cop out if you're telling
That is a
the
cop out. That's
truth.
just saying it's Pocahontas in space. It's a terrible movie.
Oh god.
Like well, I like
No,
Pocahontas and I
That's
like
not
space.
The reason, that's not the reason why it's a terrible movie. It's just it's Pocahontas in space.
Time to
It's
get
not
to
an original movie, which doesn't make it a good movie by being unoriginal. A movie has to be original for
That's the
someone
person who
to
buys the
enjoy
Wii
it.
U.
There's a few good games coming out for the Wii U now.
Oh, name one.
Pikmin 3.
Name one that's an original IP.
I'm going on Nintendo Land is original, so Nintendo Land is the greatest
Okay.
Wii U game ever.
That's sad. That's really sad.
No, it's not because it's
That's
actually a
incredibly
really
sad.
good game. It's a really, 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 really good game.
That is
like-
really sad.
Fantastically good. So it's not sad because it's so good.
So it's so very, very
So,
sad.
I'm trying to think. The Zombie U.
Eesh.
There's another
Never
one.
even tried it.
It's
Yeah,
really
but
good.
original, yeah, it's like calling a zombie game original is kind of a stretch at any point in this kind of time period that we're in.
I think that's like saying any game is original in the time stretch that we're in, because everything kind of gets recycled these days.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, original IP. Like even games like The Last of Us, which people have praised for being original, are just really contain elements from other past games.
It's got a bit of zombie into it, but then they've kind of expanded from it. and
Okay,
strayed
wait,
away from it.
It's Uncharted.
Your definition of original is completely original. Nothing is copied from anything else.
No, I would say elements of design, but like you're taking okay.
But the thing is, there's been so many games created. You can't make a game that the base core is completely unique.
Except for that recent game, was it Thomas is Alone? That indie game.
Yeah, indie games can do it.
That indie game was amazing.
Like, okay, I'm saying, obviously you're gonna have different genres of games, so you can't, but so you can't like, make completely original games without having some similarities are going to be in there. Granted, I'm not saying that, but you have games that are just kind of they feel like nothing really new being introduced in a sense, and in which it feels like you're playing the same game that the same kind of feeling. Like you could equate it to the modern shooters we have now. Like a lot of people would agree that when you play those games, you get the same kind of feeling.
Yeah, you're going, okay, bang, bang, people are dead, bang, bang, okay.
Yeah, in single player. Okay,
always the
multiplayer, it's different for Battlefield versus Modern Warfare. Modern Warfare is more, it's more individual based, while Battlefield is more team oriented, and because of how the battle's gonna play out. So there's differences there. But when you come to the single player, it always comes down to the same thing for games like that, and that's the issue. Like games like that take that kind of modern shooter and then kind of take that kind of genre, but then introduce new gameplay devices into it, are what I consider to be original. If you did, but what I was talking about with originality in the Wii U, a lot of the games they're announcing for the Wii U, and they're doing it. They do it for the Xbox. They do it for the PS4 or the Xbox One. They're doing it for the PS4. So I'm not saying the Wii U is only doing this. The Wii U is terrible. No, I'm not gonna go on some sort of like hate speech about it. But like, they're all just taking their old IPs. They're making new kill zones. They're making new Halos. They're making all these new old. They're making sequel upon sequel upon sequel because they can. Halo could have ended after Halo 3. I have not played Killzone, but like,
you're saying that what every other console is doing is only a fault of the Wii U. It's okay for the PS4 and the Xbox One to take sequel games, but it's bad for the Wii U. Yeah, I know you said you're all doing it, but you always call it the Wii U specifically on something like this, so it's bad because the Wii U's doing it. It's worse because the Wii U's doing it.
Because with Nintendo has always been...
Wait, hold on a minute, hold on. You're arguing for original sake, and the Wii U is the only original console. You realize that the Xbox One and the PS4 are just the exact same console with better graphics and maybe some other stuff thrown, like small changes.
What's
the Wii U went from motion control to a tablet.
What's before the U? Tell me what's before the U.
It's Wii.
What is the word before the U?
It's Wii.
Yeah?
I'm about to say T, but yeah.
Wii.
So it has the same name, but the consoles change. You don't understand. Nintendo doesn't go and do the same thing over and over again. You have the N64, which had horrible controllers, and then you had the GameCube, which had good controllers for once. Then you had the Wii and the Wii U. Those are all 4 different consoles. They aren't the same console.
Yeah.
And you're arguing for original sake.
If you compare
against the Wii U. Against the Wii U. Something that's different.
Can I stop you there, though? If you were to compare, right, and you took an Xbox 360, and an Xbox One, and you placed them side by side, no matter what, people are going to notice these are 3 completely different consoles, at least from a viewing standpoint, okay?
Oh man, my console looks different. That's the only thing that matters, right? Like,
yeah. What, you want new controllers? These controllers that they have.
No, their controllers are fine. The Xbox controllers are fine. What I'm saying is you can't argue something against like originality against the Wii U when the Wii U is the only different console coming out. It's not bad that the Xbox and the PS are staying the same because they've found a design that's good. But the Wii U...
What is the Wii U doing is it the new controller?
It's a new control. It's a different system. It's a different kind of system. This isn't the same as the Wii. The Wii was like motion control. The Wii U like has this weird tablet that
tablet. You said it yourself.
Okay, it is weird. It's comfortable, but it's weird. It's comfortable.
It can't be weird. It's comfortably weird.
I use the Wii tablet.
It is the most comfortable thing I've ever. Not the most comfortable. It's one of the most comfortable controllers I've ever used.
You are lying to yourself.
Right.
I am not lying in any way. I will go onto
the
streets and interview people.
It's okay to delude yourself with these things, with these fantasies.
No, I'm not self-deluded.
Okay, it's okay.
I'm not self-deluded.
I don't judge.
Okay? Right.
Self-deluded. These are comfortable
Calm down. We're gonna move on. I can't picked up from the point where I'm just saying what games I'm playing. Oh god.
Okay.
Right. We're gonna go to our first article, or news that we're going to be discussing here. World of Warcraft is actually losing subscribers. Yes. As it's been revealed, they have lost 600,000 more subscriptions in the last quarter, dropping its grand total to 7.7 million players. Now, you say that, 7.7 is still quite a bit.
I don't think this really matters because they still have a ton of subscribers. They have a ton of money saved up. Like, how much do you get from like 7 million people paying like $15 a month?
Well, didn't they send free to play?
No.
No, they haven't, not yet. Oh, okay.
They have like some crappy.
Free play to 20, to level 20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And after that, you got subscription, which is probably gonna be
It's just okay.
too much.
Like Alana said, you know, they still have a crap ton of subscribers, more than any other pay-to-play game has. You know, there's no MMO that is really competing with WoW. Like, the MMOs that have tried to compete have either A, just not done well at all, or B, gone to free-to-play. You'll see this with the Secret World, which was a game that was coming out that people were hyped about. That went free-to-play. Games like Rift went free-to-play just recently. Went free-to-play. And I'm not saying Rift's doing awful, but no other game is keeping up with the subscription model that WoW has. You know, because you can't compare, like, a subscription-based model will make more money, okay? Because it's more sustainable, because you're not reliant on people just buying things on a whim, you know? You know people are going to pay this monthly thing because they're signed into it, you know? And you have people sign in for 6 months renewal or 12 months renewal or however many months renewal, so you're guaranteed this amount of money. And it's a safe way for these companies to make money. You know, you had the free-to-play options coming out, which are games like League of Legends, and you have it in Rift and stuff, where you know there's like a cash shop where you can buy certain, you know,
a lot of MMOs do that model these days.
Yeah, because
the cash shop model, because it's easier, I guess, to handle, but they haven't got as much staff involved because of it. It's unreliable.
It's unreliable, but it's better for smaller companies because it allows you to compete with games that are huge like WoW, while not really directly competing with them, because people can be like, oh, I can play WoW and this game because I don't have to pay for this game.
They do the things like the cash shop, pay to win, freemium, whatever you want to call it. They do that because people are stupid enough to spend that amount of money on a game just so they can get ahead of people. There's this one robot MMO that was out. It wasn't really an MMO RPG, but you had to play with a lot of people. It's called Bots. And you could spend the crap out of your money, and some people did, and you could become these amazing characters just by spending the money alone, because it's pay to win. But there was what brought the site down, I don't know if it's still alive or not. What brought it down though was there's this one map called the Holodeck that you would only play because people who had the great gear could still lose, because it was like glass and you had to jump on it a certain amount of times to get it to collapse, and then you'd fall to your death. So you could still win it even if you were like a level 1 character. But they make these games because they earn ridiculous amounts of money. Like Zynga only does freemium apps because people just blow their money because they don't know how to do money management, or kids accidentally spend all the money on it. It's not because they want to try and compete with, well, they'd like to try and compete with World of Warcraft. They never can, because World of Warcraft has put like 10 years. How old is World of Warcraft?
It's been since 2005, so it's
it's been quite a while.
It's nearing 10 years. It's nearing 10 years. It's like 8 years or something. Don't quote me on that math. I'm really bad at math. But it's been working. It's been working on it for 8 years. So a game that's been in development for 8 years is obviously going to win over a game that's been in development for like 2. Something like Rift can't compete until it's been around for a minimum of like 5-6 years, and it's had content built up and up and up and up and up, and they try. Game developers are just getting lazy.
Yeah, I think that. But you brought up a really good argument in which when does these free-to-play games that have a cash shop, what is pay to win versus pay for just not, like, you could say TF2 doesn't really have a pay to win kind of system because you buy like.
No, they don't. Like, if you buy something
TF2 has a strange system.
It's more of a pay for novelty, you know.
If you buy vanity items, if you buy vanity items, it isn't pay to win or freemium. If you're buying vanity items, it's just something extra in the game that you decide to spend your money on. A pay to win is you have to spend the money to compete with other players.
There's a few more.
I think pay to win is more what people describe as pay to win is like you say, you pay, but it's more of having the option to pay to win. I think it's having the option to buy things with money that you can't acquire without like buying, and also things you can acquire without buying but are just easier to buy. I think it goes both ways, you know. I think both are basically pay to win, because either A, you're getting an unfair advantage by having items that people can't get, or you're getting the items that people that aren't supposed to have at whatever level you're playing at. But you're getting it so early that it just doesn't matter, because you'll just do better because you have the better items. Like, for example, a game like APB Reloaded. Like
that freaking game.
That game allows you to buy guns that you cannot actually get in the game normally.
But
there's another game I could mention here,
the...
out of pure hatred, out of one of the videos we've done for First Impressions, and they've changed their name to Infestation Survivor Stories.
Oh.
I freaking hate that game.
Oh my gosh.
That game can burn.
The war is
the amount of pay to play that to do is just pay to win.
Okay, that game is just to the point where
it's
you
a cash
have.
cow.
It is, like, you can't possibly win the game if you don't pay money. But on a game like APB Reloaded, just quickly touching on that again, I played that game quite a bit, and I found that as long as I was with myself and not really crappy players, because I have a friend, she's nice, but she's really bad at video games, and whenever I play with her, you'd always lose. But if I played by myself, even though I wasn't spending real money on guns, I find that I could still win against people. APB, you could buy guns, but it only gives you an advantage if you can utilize the gun properly.
Certain guns have basically no, like, there was, I don't know if they ever changed it, but there was a gun in the game that got so infamous that like people who bought this said gun were basically hated by the other players of the game. It's called the Whisper. It's still in the game. I don't know if they changed anything about it, but from what I remember playing it back months ago, people hated other people who used the Whisper. Like, the Whisper was just that it was considered the scrub gun, basically. Anyone who bought the Whisper was immediately hated by everyone who couldn't afford to buy the Whisper. So basically, if you're gonna buy a gun, you would basically buy the Whisper.
So think about it. I think about it. PlanetSide 2 has that same sort of system, even though you can kill people with other guns. There are certain guns that you can get in the cash shop that will give you a lot bigger advantage if you get them earlier.
Well, it's just like in the sense of a game like you look at a popular game like Halo. There are certain guns, and this doesn't involve real money. There are certain guns that only spawn in certain parts of the map. So when you're playing multiplayer, like the Needler, the shotgun, the sword come to mind. Those are pretty popular guns. But if you know how to utilize the other guns that are at your disposal, you can take down those people that have the popular guns. It takes a bit more work.
But there's a difference there in that with Halo, it's
there definitely
there's a huge difference.
A huge difference, but by the same token, I'm just saying that like APB, you still could beat people if you know how to utilize the guns that you have.
What threat level were you playing at?
I don't freaking know. I was just playing the game.
Okay. When you get up, the threat levels in APB are there's, I don't know what you would call it. There's a green, I don't know what that is, what the name for it is. There's green, bronze, silver, and gold, right?
Well, I mean, like, I didn't get that into the game. Like, I played it for a little while, and I played against people, and I shot them up, and that was about it.
Yeah, when you start getting against gold people, the people who are actually, like, decent at the game, the thing is, it becomes, like, if someone's at the same skill level as you, right?
Yeah.
But they have a ridiculously better gun, chances are they're gonna beat you, right? And it becomes, like, a...
Yes, but like, you also...
It became an issue, for me at least, because I was at the point where I was queuing constantly against gold. So maybe I was on the threshold of getting into gold or something, but I kept queuing against gold. And I'm not queuing because obviously I could beat them, if I outplayed them. But the thing is, it was this conundrum of just because you can outplay them, why is this an option? Why can people who are just, lower level, who are the same skill level as you, why can they just instantly get these amazing guns just because they have some money? It's just, if it was a gun that they could get normally in the game, I wouldn't be very mad. But it's guns that you can't even obtain without buying. Like they're not even in the game, the gun itself. So unless you buy it, there's no way to access it for free. So it's that I don't like. It's not the fact that you can buy guns. It's the fact that you can buy guns that are inaccessible in any other way, which I think it's what embodies the kind of issues that a cash shop in a free-to-play game kind of has. It's the boundary between, you know, buying stuff that kind of makes you a little better, or buying stuff that just makes you in a different league than anybody else.
But we've also seen cash shops that have worked really well. Like if you look at a game like MapleStory, the most racist and horrible community I've ever come across. If you go and play that game, you see a lot of things in the cash shop that like you just buy with your money, but don't give you a huge advantage. Like you can get pets, you can get different facial expressions, different outfits, hairstyles, whatever crap like that you want. I think you can get married now or something. It's really weird. But you can do these things.
MapleStory has one of the best cash shops, in my opinion, that I've seen.
Exactly. No, they've done it really well. They just need to work on their community because it's a horrible piece of trash.
It's amazing.
How is
that kind of level of... Okay, I think a community is only as good as its trolls, because if the trolls are bad, right, then the community itself is probably pretty bad. But if the trolls are of a higher caliber of trolling, then you get into this kind of mindset of, oh man, this is awesome because the trolls are awesome, and I'm awesome, and everything's awesome.
The trolls are so good that it takes you 2 weeks to figure out that you've been trolled.
Exactly.
That's the kind of trolls you need.
That is the kind of trolls a community needs.
But we don't want...
Having a community with no trolls makes the game boring.
No, it's not the trolls that bother me in MapleStory. It's the people that sit around saying racist slurs to everyone. Racism, it can be funny to a certain degree.
Racism is usually funny.
Racism as a joke,
as
a joke to a certain degree is funny. If you start to sit there and all you do is you use these horrible, horrible slurs that I will not even repeat.
You mean the N-word?
That's when it becomes
We're not having this mentioned on here, okay?
Okay, because I was 3 seconds from saying it.
We'll not have it mentioned.
Okay. No, it's not. I wasn't thinking that word. I heard a lot worse terms on the game. It's not. I don't think it's a very friendly community all the time, and it doesn't all have to be friendly because people are just mean on the internet. That's life, right? People are mean. Doesn't matter. But when like 90% of your community is made up of racist people and people scamming each other, you might want to take a second look at that.
Yep, we're talking to you, RuneScape.
Good old RuneScape. Best community ever. Especially when you go to the wilderness. Those were the days.
There still are the days, technically, if you go on the 2007 RuneScape thing that they opened.
Have I got a 2007 one?
Yeah.
I might go there for nostalgia reasons.
Just down to blindness.
And just watch myself just rage. Anyway, we'll move on to our next story. Torchlight has 2 million people playing them apparently after the big, huge Steam summer sale last week. So they have done.
They don't actually technically have 2 million because
they have a 2 million...
I was reading that it is people who bought the game, and I bought the game, and I don't play it, so they have like 1,999,999.
Yeah.
Minus the amount of people who probably did exactly the same thing as you did.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. I'd buy games on Steam and find that I haven't actually played half of them. Yeah.
Torchlight is a fantastic game, though. I mean, I'm happy for them. I really enjoy Torchlight too. I like how you can get pets in it. That's why I like it.
Pets. That's what matters.
I really like pets. If I could get a monkey pet, man, I would play that game all the time. I really want to get like a pet squirrel monkey, but they cost like $3,000, so I'm not getting one of those anytime soon.
See, there's a few games I've got on my Steam I've never played. I've actually got Borderlands on here and I haven't played that.
Borderlands 1?
Yeah.
We should play Borderlands 1 then.
Let's play Borderlands 1 sometime. That'll be an upcoming video for some people if you listen to this.
I would play that.
Well, by the time you do listen to this, which will probably be 2
Alana,
years
who said
from
you were
now,
invited, huh?
It's likely
you just self-inviting yourself?
I am self-inviting myself because you know what? I just am. Because I showed up for the podcast, I'm self-inviting myself.
Because you're a girl gamer.
I hate you.
We could move on to that topic after this, by the way.
No.
Yes.
We'll move on.
Yes, we gotta go.
I poured my soul into that article for like 3
hours.
Okay.
Did write that article.
Wait,
so.
give me. I just want to voice my opinion. Torchlight's a great game. goodbye. If you didn't buy it, even though it's not on sale, go buy it.
Go
It's
buy
a
it
good
anyway.
No, wait until it's on sale and then buy it.
No, buy it.
stop.
Wait
Just
until it's
buy
on
it.
sale.
Give
You
them.
never
don't
buy.
be a Don't be
you
a
never
savvy
buy-
shopper, okay?
You never buy anything on Steam until a Steam sale. Then you buy everything that you want.
That is
No.
a terrible way to live your life. Don't listen to Elena.
Don't listen to
She
her.
lives in a crawl space, so she's like the Harry
don't
Potter
Live in a crawl space.
of our call.
I'm enjoying my time in the crawl space. It's very nice in here.
You should say she's the Harry Potter of the call because Harry Potter ends up amazingly great though.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, but
Harry
it takes
Potter sucks.
6 books to get
Harry
there. Though.
Potter sucks.
Other than
Whoa. Whoa.
whoa, Benji is English. You can't just say that.
I'm taking offense. I'm gonna take a stand here and walk out of this.
that is racism, technically, if you say that while an Englishman is present.
I don't think so.
We'll move on to the, as we're saying, the Girl Gamers article that you wrote.
Yes. Here we go.
There's-
Lena, since it's your article, do you want to introduce us to it?
Okay, so I decided the other day to write an article about how female gamers, or girl gamers as the term stands, have, if anything, removed their own right to play video games, because I truly believe that feminism is completely destroying esports. Well, not completely destroying, but strongly destroying esports and video games as it stands, because we have people like Felicia Day, the Fragwells, freaking PMS clan.
Sirens.
PMS. The Sirens, yes, thank you, Matt. and there's some other chick, but she didn't have much of an effect on it. The internet just hates her. But it's basically
Wasn't
an
that
article.
the female critiquer that never actually critiqued games or something?
I thought it was
She
a.
No. This is Jennifer Hepler. I'm pretty sure her name is.
Apparently
she
she
worked-
wrote for Mass Effect 3 when she actually
Which
didn't.
she did not. No,
Yeah.
she did not. She writes for Dragon Age Origins 1 and 2, and she has assisted on a few other things in BioWare's company. She's mostly hated though because she claims that she got into the industry because of a love of writing, not a love of video games.
Yeah. Well, then you get a slippery slope when you talk
Very
about
strange.
non-love of, because that's basically a lot of issues people have with video game journalism is like, I mean, obviously not with like Game Informer, because the people who write for Game Informer usually play. I mean, it's a game magazine, so you'd expect that it's about games, you know. But you have like a lot of like game critiquers, you'll find, or not game reviewers for certain websites don't really like, either don't play the games or don't really play video games a lot. And it's a kind of issue, like you're saying, like if you have someone who's with a love of writing but doesn't really love video games, you know, you're not gonna get people say, well,
Exactly.
what, you know, but you don't get that kind of quality.
Honestly, she should be writing books if she likes that much, or if she watches
There
them,
are-
she should be writing movies or TV shows. You shouldn't be writing a video game. A video game is like an interactive storytelling, but you have to enjoy video games to be able to write good video games.
I don't know, I think it's like it's basically like you say, like you'd really like, people produce quality work, right, when it's something that they enjoy doing. You know, it's not saying that she's gonna just she's not gonna create the best kind of work that she's doing that she could do. Like her potential for video game writing isn't gonna be as great because she isn't someone who has a passion for what she's doing with video game writing, because she doesn't enjoy video games, you know?
You need to have the passion. You need to have the enthusiasm on the games themselves. You need to understand them. You need to
Some of the worst video games that I've ever played are games that are like, it just feels like they didn't understand what the player would actually like want with the game itself. Like it was
Oh, Mass Effect 1.
Okay, well,
Speaking of, I still haven't played that, and I've got that on Steam. I've actually got that on Steam. I haven't
okay,
played it.
no, but other than that, no. Like you have games, I don't have an example right now, but they have some issues, right? That you'd think if the person who was making this was someone who was enthusiastic about video games, you'd think for a second you're just like, these are issues that someone who just looks at video games and says, okay, this is what a video game is, I guess, and just makes it. Not someone who's experienced it and feels it, you know? It's like we can get to this whole video games or art kind of thing, but like if an artist, right, is trying to paint a picture or something, and they just don't feel it, and they don't have that inspiration, they're just gonna be like, okay. Like it's the kind of artwork that has like Da Vinci, you know, made his masterpiece, the Mona Lisa. People have said that he made it for a client, but he never actually gave it to said client. And that's the kind of passion. Like he obviously threw himself so much into that work of art that he just felt like he couldn't give it away because he had such an attachment to that, you know? And it's like you don't kind of find that. I think that's what we're gonna see when video games can take a couple of different paths. They could take a more kind of artistic style to them, or they can become more of an industry. Like movies have kind of become in a way in which people just make movies just to make movies, and you have these movies that are just awful being made every year and year and year.
Every year you'll get the horrible movie. It's gonna happen.
And
it's gonna be there.
But I mean, you even see movies that people have put quite a bit of time into, or so the media thinks, like the movie Argo or something. The guy, Ben Affleck, I think, the director, came out and said that he apologized to Canadians for making the movie because it wasn't depicted very well. It didn't show that Canadians actually did this. It showed basically, America did this because America does everything, apparently. Right?
Yeah, the Canadians were there. You know, they put their life on the line to shelter, like, these Americans, right? And I just kind of felt like, yeah, like you said, like, they just pictured the America. There's Team America.
Yeah, exactly.
America.
No,
and then they're like, we let Canada take the credit. And I was like, what do you mean take the credit? It was the Canadian Prime Minister who could have died.
I've heard that
not the Canadian Prime Minister, the Canadian
I've
ambassador.
heard it's a good movie. I've never watched it myself. I've heard that it's a good movie, but they might have put their passion into it, but you still can get bad things even when people are passionate about something, because some people are just bad at what they do.
Yeah, I think that, yeah, there's a difference. You can have, but it's the game. Like, I have high standards, and you guys both know that.
I wouldn't say high standards the right word here. I'm thinking, what's a word higher than higher standards? I would say
possible.
Impossible standards. Yeah.
Okay. No. Well. Okay. But there are some games that I have liked just because I don't know, and it felt like there was some certain thing in that game. Like, a lot of people hated the first Borderlands, right? And the first Borderlands, I love the first Borderlands, okay? And people say guilty pleasure, but I don't know. I feel like there's just something there, you know?
The only reason why I didn't appreciate the first Borderlands as much as, I don't know, maybe you did or something, is because the first Borderlands was an easy piece of crap. That was the only reason why I didn't like. Well, it wasn't a piece of crap. I just say piece of crap for everything. But Borderlands 1 was so easy. It was ridiculous. Like, I would go down all the time because I started to not pay attention to the game. Like, my brother and I just sat there playing it, and I just kind of run in and be like looking at something else while shooting, and then it's like, oh, I'm down. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I did every quest in the game, so that was the only game I actually like completed.
I think I did every single quest as well. I didn't. The game was easy. That's the thing. The game became easy.
I don't know.
I still think it's a good game. It's easy.
We'll have to see. We'll prove this when we all start with level 1 characters and we're playing this, alright? And
well, I mean,
from my point of view, you'll watch me die mostly, probably, than anything else, okay? And we'll prove it's an easy game. We'll put this in the hardest mode, I think.
I'm going to attempt to die more than Benji now. This will be my goal.
Oh my goodness.
We're never going to reach the end.
We're never going to reach the end of the game because Alana just dies every 5 seconds.
We're never going to
I didn't know bandits could kill you.
We'll never even get to the end of the first area. We'll just be dead. Constantly. Every time.
Matt will be like sitting there and taking the game seriously.
Killing everything. Everyone else is dead.
I am an MLG level for Borderlands, in case you guys didn't know.
That's quite impressive.
Yes.
We're going to prove that, hopefully.
Yeah, please.
Anyway, moving on from there. Now, we're going to move on to film news. We have a new Batman film / Superman film for 2015.
Hopefully it's not as bad as the Avengers.
Hopefully it'll be a lot better than the Avengers.
You're being,
Yes.
I was pausing for a moment there thinking, what should I say? I'm gonna...
You're being
Yes.
serious? You're actually being serious?
Mhm.
Like, you didn't like the Avengers?
I liked it, but I hope this is gonna be better.
Yes. I think the Avengers was just, it was one of those kind of like meh movies where you just kind of like sit back and watch, but you didn't really feel like there was anything substantial kind of like going on with it. Like the Batman movies had some kind of like depth to them. I mean, I like the first and the second, definitely the second Batman. The second Batman was great. I never saw the third one.
God bless you, Heath.
You have no idea how happy I am to hear someone else say that. Like, I never liked the Avengers that much. Everyone's like, the Avengers is amazing. I'm like, the Avengers is okay, I guess. It's like,
Yeah, it's like if you
man.
really like want like some sort of like, you know, kind of cheesy action, like, because I mean the ending to the movie,
I
mean,
feel like if you
kind of
want,
came like it was expected. Like,
And then
you're
they
like,
link it all together
It's-
to the next film.
it's
Oh,
kind
right,
of
man.
like if you want to see a ton of superheroes together in the same
On the
film,
screen,
then you're
yeah.
really gonna like it. But
for
if you
some reason
want,
I was gonna
if
say
you want-
for some reason. Oh. No, you can go.
Oh
oh,
god.
it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. Go
No, no,
ahead.
okay, I was gonna say if for some reason you wanted to see Thor after the first Thor movie, then
Well,
yes.
Thor kind of has nice hair.
There is a second Thor film coming out.
Oh dear.
There is.
Thor's hair is fabulous. Like, it's just
Okay,
like
well,
That's a way to say it.
it's just his hair is fabulous.
That's
Watch
worth
every-
watching the film for it.
But you know whose hair is really bad? Loki's hair is the worst hair I've ever seen.
I don't know. Loki's got a kind of bad boy kind of hairstyle.
Oh,
kind
I hate Loki so much. Like, I really respect that Joss Whedon was like, we're gonna do like accuracy and put Loki in it, but use all ton of random Avengers, whatever about that part. But Loki was in it, so I was like, you used the first film, that's incredible they'd actually do something like that. But then his hair is like this gross, disgusting, greasy mess thing, and I'm like, I would never touch your hair.
Because he was banished, wasn't
Yeah, true.
I don't know, but he could have shaved, like just gone bald, and then he wouldn't have
he? If
icky
you're
hair.
banished, you can't really do that.
Yeah, I don't know.
He could have frozen. Wait. He's like a frost god, right? He could have like frozen. He could have like frozen his hair, then like just picked
He's
it
got a
off.
trickster. He's a frost god. Where are you getting this frost god?
I don't know what's going on.
He's an
No.
ice giant.
He's a
He's the
trickster.
son of an ice giant. Okay, he's the god. He's the trickster god.
Okay, well he's like the ice giant
He's
kid,
the
so he
son.
should.
He's half
should-
ice giant, I think. Or
Okay,
full, I don't
so
know.
his half ice giant should come out of him like and freeze his hair, and then he can like kind of like pop it off. Wait a minute, no, Loki the trickster god or whatever, he can change his form, so he could have changed the form to have not greasy hair.
Well, it wasn't that amazing of a movie, so I would not expect them to do that.
But
I
I
don't
just
know.
want, like, I feel like I could have enjoyed the Avengers more if his hair looked good.
I feel like it was the issue that I think a lot of, I don't know, I think the issue that movie had was it just had like so many heroes on the screen at a time that didn't really have like time to like develop the characters.
Definitely not. And I
And
mean,
so
like,
like each
Hawkeye-
character kind of it was this like 2D kind of cardboard character. Like it was just like you had, you know, Iron Man, you had the Hulk, but they never changed. They never like
Okay,
developed as
But
characters.
hold on a minute. I don't feel that character development is what everyone thinks it is. Character development isn't your character going from one drastic to another. It's
Not
developing
addressed.
your character and seeing how they would react to different situations. We didn't have a lot of that in the movie, which kind of sucks. And I will admit that I didn't
Yeah,
like.
that
I
was-
don't like the movie that much. But one, it wasn't character development isn't going from like A to B. It's going from like just showing you how a character acts and like having the character so well written that you can put it in any situation and know how to write it out.
Yeah.
But coming back to the Superman Batman film,
Yes. I have not
Yes.
really seen much about it other than I knew it was coming out. But I
we've got
haven't
Henry Cavill returning to be Superman.
He
he
was
did-
in the recent Superman
He's in
movie?
the recent Superman for Man of Steel. But obviously, for those who have seen Dark Knight Returns, you already know what's happened to Bruce Wayne.
Dark Knight Rises.
Dark Knight Rises.
Oof.
Shh. I'm tired, alright?
Flubbed it all up.
I'm English. I'm tired, and all your time zones is messed up for me.
Okay, but
I'm saying we all know what happens to Bruce Wayne.
It's not
in the
even
end.
10 o'clock there yet, is it?
I have different sleeping schedules to most people.
The excuses, the excuse. But no, I mean, on to the whole Batman Superman. I mean, they can do it right if they don't make it some sort of.
It's going to be a different Batman, in theory. But they're
In
going to be doing the
theory.
Batman film and the Justice League film in the same year.
Christian Bale hasn't officially denied the role, so you could be really hopeful, and maybe he'll come back to the screen.
Hmm.
I don't know. I think the one thing that I'd have to say is that with the whole, Batman and Superman, I just don't want it to seem like they're just throwing these two characters on there, just be like, oh, Batman and Superman,
I'm
huh?
hoping they fight each other. Hoping they'll be against each other for this film.
I don't know.
I
I
think-
think that'd be weird.
It
They've done it
it
before.
could be the Superman versus Batman thing, because that would actually set up pretty nicely for the Justice League, because for people who don't know a lot about the comics, you don't know about how Batman he keeps an anti-weapon for like every single one of the heroes, because Superman turns because some sort of kryptonite, and Batman has to figure out what it is to take him down, and from that point on, when the Justice League is formed, he always gets something to take down the heroes in case they turn. So
Because he's the only one who can't
it
turn,
would be
apparently.
neat. It would be neat to see that, because then like people who don't know a lot about comics, which I don't know why they watch.
Okay, if Batman were to turn, like, every time a superhero turns, they get all like dark and stuff. But how do you make Batman darker? He is the Dark Knight. You can't make a Dark Knight darker. You
But
can't get
Batman
darker than
doesn't.
black.
Batman doesn't kill. Like they were talking. They a lot of them start killing or like doing things like that. Batman doesn't kill. Batman still has a set of morals. As weird as they are, he still has a set of morals. He'll beat people up, but he will not kill them. He lets Ra's al Ghul or whatever in Batman Begins. He lets him die, but he doesn't kill him
He just
purposely.
lets him stay there. Yeah,
He
said,
just
"You can
he
escape
just
there."
doesn't rescue him. And Batman can't rescue everyone. He's let other people die before because he can't rescue everyone.
For instance,
Could if he
in the
was
second
Superman.
film.
Oh.
Could be an interesting film. It could be an interesting film to
It
watch.
could be. There's definitely
There's potential. There's a lot of
potential
potential.
there to be an interesting film, but I don't want to make judgments until I've actually seen
Trailers.
some sort of
What's it, we need
trailers.
trailers. We need some teaser trailers. Like we need a lot of things in there.
Yeah, I think people who start like when things aren't like when the Super Smash Brothers game, or better yet, when they announced the new Kingdom Hearts, right? And
Hey,
they
that's
showed
looking
literally-
good now, alright?
that they showed 5 seconds of what people called gameplay, which didn't really look like gameplay to me. It kind of looked like a cinematic kind of with the UI elements thrown on, just to make us think it was gameplay. But like the thing is, I can't make any judgments of that. Now I'm a huge Kingdom Hearts fan, but I can't make any judgments of the game just from seeing that. Just like I can't make judgments on any other game, seeing just that level of content from the game. Or that's not even a trailer. That's not anything that I would consider like. I would not throw my money at the screen just because I would see that. If I were not a Kingdom Hearts fan, right? Okay. So seeing this and not being a huge, Batman, Superman comic book fan, I'm thinking, okay, well, I think it could be an interesting concept, but I'm hesitant to throw money at it until I've seen things that are, concrete rather than just a logo.
Very understandable. Very, very understandable. And it's up from there. I think we have actually cleared everything, unless there's anything else anyone else to say or bring up in this one.
How The Last of Us is the worst game of the year.
It really isn't. Please don't. You're banned from the podcast from now on. Never saying that again.
I'm okay with banning him. He doesn't
Oh,
like
okay,
the
wait.
Wii U, so.
I want to say one thing though about Last of Us. It's not about the game itself, okay? I think, in my opinion, the game is an 8.5 or a 9, right?
Yeah.
In my opinion, right? That's a
That's a good score. That's a good score.
That's a really good
That's
score.
a really good score.
But the website's giving the game a 10. Okay, that's malarkey.
What? Why?
That means that to them there is no other game that could ever possibly be better than this game.
Okay,
This
but
is the
there-
best.
No, hold on a
This-
second.
This is
At
the
that
best.
current time.
This is the best that
Ten-
that a game could ever get.
A 10.
Tens aren't about it being the best game ever. It's about this is my new standard. Well, it's not about being a new standard. It's about being this is the highest that I've ever seen a game. If a game ever comes this close or is as good as this game again, I'll give it a 10.
Yes.
Websites who are giving it a 10 have set The Last of Us as a stand for this is what 10 games are like.
But that's not what it should be.
See,
That's
we
So
have-
a game
I've heard
a game
people
should
say-
never get a 10. A game should never get a 10.
Exactly.
I've heard
Then
people
let's
say that the
bring
game
it
itself
up to a 10.
was, let's see, it had
I
a
don't
slow
think
start on the story. Apparently, it wasn't that good. I mean, I wouldn't give the game a 10. To be honest,
You wouldn't?
I wouldn't. No,
Exactly.
I wouldn't
Okay.
give it a 10.
The thing is, the
It's a
reason
brilliant game, nonetheless.
it's a good game. Okay, I'm not gonna say it's a bad game because that would be a lie. It's a good game, but when you put it at a 10, right? That just doesn't seem like anything, because the scale of a 1 to 10 is supposed to be, you know, it's supposed to be an objective way to kind of see how a game is by comparing it to other games. But then how do you compare? But if you give a game a 10, right? Then it doesn't make sense when you're giving like other games ratings, because then you're like, okay, is this a 10 game then? Because then which game is better? Because if they're both 10s,
Okay, but
No.
but reviewing games isn't about a comparison. If you want to compare a game, you do a comparison article. It's about does this game out of 1 to 10, how good is this game? It's not about out of 1 to 10 compared to every single other game that you played. How is this game?
What's really bad, actually, about it, I would probably consider Last of Us a 10 if
Huh?
multiplayer wasn't in there. See,
I don't think. I don't know.
the
I think
multiplayer
they-
itself ruined it for me in some way because
I think okay.
It's
If
a good-
you're saying
it's a good idea what they've done, but it's actually
if you're
I guess, in
saying
the
okay,
community.
if you're not using it as a comparative tool, if you're just saying on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give the game? Giving it a 10 meaning it's perfect in any way. There's no flaws with it whatsoever. If you're saying that on a 1 to 10 level, meaning there's nothing above 10. There's no 11s or 12s or whatever. Meaning 10 is the greatest score that a game could possibly get. Meaning this is the best that a game could ever get.
For its current style, for its genre.
For the current genre, for the current
That's-
time, that is
it's
the
not.
best that a
It's-
game
That's
will
how
get.
they
Oh.
consider 10.
No,
Reviews can't be permanent
wrong.
all the time
Because-
because your opinion is constantly changing. A review is about an opinion. Your opinion is constantly changing. Every single day that you live, your opinion will change slightly on at least one thing because experiences
Yeah.
change your opinion. They form your opinion. The people they
As
meet
does age,
forms your opinion.
as does age and time.
But
As things get
aren't just
better,
about-
things will get worse. But then
Reviews
again,
are
Final
not
Fantasy
supposed
6
to
is
be
still my
clouded
favorite.
by layers and layers of bias. A review isn't just like, I think the game is amazing, so you guys should all buy it. That's not a review.
No, a review is an opinion though in
review
a
is
sense.
a
A review
breakdown of a
can't
game.
A review
look at
cannot
it.
be a perfect breakdown because most people are insanely biased. If you are saying that reviews should in any way, shape, or form be an unbiased thing, then reviews don't matter anymore. They just don't. Reviews are an opinion. It's
because obviously there's going to be bias.
Well, in some
But
way.
a
should be
review is done by one specific person. So if that one specific person has a different opinion from someone else, then it's going to be different. That's why you're supposed to look at more than one review. You don't just take one review on its word. That's why Rotten Tomatoes is so good. Is because it takes all the critics and it collaborates them and it goes, here's the percentage of who liked it.
But the thing is, when you have a game, right? Like I've been saying, when you have this game, The Last of Us, which is it's a good game, right? And you give it a 10. Okay, to me, that doesn't show to me whether I should you need to be at least. You can't give a game a 10 because that means the game is perfect. It does mean the game is perfect. Okay.
Now,
It
I
does,
could
because
actually,
it's the highest.
I got an example.
It does mean the game is perfect for that moment in time that you reviewed
No. It means the game is perfect. That no game can get better than it.
I
That's
do
what
have
it
an
means.
example that, for a reason though, people still bought the game for this, didn't they? Because obviously they thought it'd be an amazing game, right? Something to counter this: Aliens Colonial Marines. Now, think how bad that was,
Yes.
as in for the scores it gained. It topped the charts of games being bought at
Yeah.
one point, and reviewers gave it like what 43 out of 100 on Metacritic, and other things gave it 2 out of 5 stars, and loads of people have actually gone and bought this game. So, what are you saying about reviews here in the end?
I'm saying that I get disappointed when
He's saying that reviews have to be perfect, and to his opinion.
No, I never said reviews. I'm saying that I think it's weird, okay, when reviewers give a perfect score to something. Because to me, it seems weird. I don't really care what other people think about it, but I'm saying it's weird. I don't know why you're. I'm not trying to say like. I'm not enforcing this. I'm saying all reviewers should. I'm saying it's something to think about, okay? Because when I see a reviewer give a perfect score to a game, it makes me think: is the game really perfect, or is it the reviewer is clouded by his bias to the point where he's just like throwing the score out there like it's nothing? Because a 10 isn't something that you really, in my opinion, if I were a reviewer and I were giving scores, I would want to say 10 until it was literally the best game ever. But there can't be the best game ever, because it's all about, like you said, it's all about opinions, because it's impossible to really say sometimes between two games that are of equal quality which one is better, because people always have their opinions. So in essence, a 10 really should never be given out, because there really would never be a perfect game to really have worthy of that score, because your opinions will always. Games will sometimes be better than other games, even if a game was really good. Like, some people might like games, or a lot of people like games better than The Last of Us, right? And those games haven't,
reached 10. Yeah.
Those games haven't reached 10, right? So it's just like, it's a question of, not does The Last of Us deserve a 10, but does any game really deserve the ranking of a 10? Because it's such a high pedestal that you're putting this game on.
It's like your standards.
Crazy Taxi.
It's like your standards.
It is.
Crazy
Exactly.
Taxi, right there. Crazy Taxi that deserves perfect 10 because it is perfect.
And then we go, this comes to opinion. And
exactly, like I'm saying.
Crazy Taxi is perfect because
it cuts out at that point. It cuts out at that point. We're safe.
Okay.
Crazy Taxi is perfect.
I think on that note, we're going to end it here. I'm Benji. You can find me at @NightNickel on Twitter, if I ever use my Twitter every now and then. Or you could send an email to me, which I don't really know what the email address is. You can also comment on whatever. We also have a YouTube channel. It's Digi Bytes. If you just search it up, you'll find it. We have a whole bunch of videos there, about 120 plus at the moment. So we're going strong. Alana?
Okay, well, obviously I'm on. I don't know why you mentioned you're Benji. Anyways, you can't find me on Twitter. Well, you can, but I hate Twitter, so I never use it. You can send me an email. I think it's like afornell@digibytes.me. And that is about all that you can find me on, unless you stalk me.
You could stalk her. That'd be a bad idea.
That'd be a bad idea, yeah.
My name is Matt. You can find me on Twitter at defnotmatt, DEFNOTMATT. I would give you my Skype, but you DDoS me. So I play League of Legends. Name This Is Not Matt. If you want to play with me, I'm always down to play with people.
I'm on there as well with Nickel Knight.
Yeah.
I need to put him in there.
But he's one of those European chumps.
I actually play in the American servers.
You do?
I do, yes.
Okay. Well, that's all for me.
And with that, I guess, is there anything else anyone say here? Any last words?
The Wii U is a great console. It's a great
We're not going to start an
console.
argument at the end, okay? We're not starting an argument at the end, okay?
I'm just saying. You wanted final words. The Wii U is a great console. It's not the greatest, but it's great.
Okay.
Dreamcast is the greatest.
Matt, your final words?
Everyone knows that that the Game Boy Micro was one of the best consoles ever made, hands down. Wii U's terrible. Crazy Taxi's worse. Last of Us worst game of the year.
That is a piece of crap. That's all
That's,
you need to
and that,
know.
my friends, is. See you next time when we do another podcast, if we are on hiatus again or not. Bye.